Hey guys, Bobo the Vulture here, and it is time for more Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. I think last time I went ahead and set us up with a new sponsor. I think our feuds were going pretty well, so the public image is at 63% right now, which is a smaller increase show to show, month to month than we were getting previously, which is somewhat disconcerting, but there's only so much you can do. Let's get looking at the sponsorship list here. Willie Moore, Jerkaholics Anonymous, 24 Karat Productions, Rainbow Bar and Grill, Unplugged Stereos. Okay. Also, nobody picked up Veteranament. I may have been a tactical error to spend the $200,000 to get them as a sponsor if it turns out that nobody was interested in taking them away from us. So we could have waited the extra 2 months, saved those legal fees, and, well, I guess it was, yeah, 2 months. Saved the legal fees and not worried about it. I'm not too arsed about it either way because basically, yeah, we're still in the black as a company. We are trending downward in terms of our cash, but that's to be expected in this harsh economic environment. And if we continue to head down to the black and we actually end up, you know, almost out of money, we can cut back. We have places we can trim uh, our costs. We could maybe skimp on the production a little. We could I don't know. We could probably get some more sponsors, really, or some better sponsors, I should say. Nothing against the sponsors I have right now, guys. I love you, our sponsors. Who are you again? I forget right now. Yeah. Right now, folks, we're basically in a holding pattern until we can get ourselves up to a regional fed. I believe it's in the regional fed era that the game starts to open up a few more gameplay opportunities. I think it is in the regional fed level that you begin to get the opportunity to do television shows if you want them, which would mean we'd end up booking a lot more shows. We'd end up booking one every week. It would be of a different length than the medium-sized shows. I think it's only the size of like you get as many booking slots as like a small show. If you remember the small shows we used to do back in the Dizay, I think it's something like that. Uh, and that's if you get a TV show. Of course, there's no guarantees that you'd be given a TV show, just like in real life. I was never promised a TV show. Um, Great as that'd be, never really something that was just like, oh yeah, sure, let me give you a TV show, Bubba. Um, wow, there was a lot of stuff happened in the month of February. Let's see what happened. Are we missing any wrestlers? Yep, we are missing a wrestler. Someone got hired away from us. Let's look at our feuds. Our feuds are still intact, so whoever got hired away from us is not one of the guys currently involved in a feud. We will have to see what's up. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Um, Actually, go ahead and timestamp now, folks. Early in the video, go ahead and pause the game and leave a comment on who it is you are guessing got hired away. Because right now we know we had 16 workers, we only have 15. You've already got a hint that it's not Chris Sprule's GQ Smooth. Well, no, it might be Chris Sprule's. You know that it's not Axel Law, GQ Smooth, Gabriel, or Katsushi Takamura. Could it be Chris Sprules has been hired by another Fed before, just only to an open contract? Or was it a written contract and then he got let go right away and we were able to rehire him? I forget. Um, El Majito is by far our most over superstar, so it would make sense that he would have caught the attention of a higher up Fed. So that's another possibility. But I want you guys to leave timestamps, and I want you to leave your guesses. Be honest. ECWA have risen to national level. I bet they're going to do a lot of hiring. Aaron Royal, Alan Barnes, Steve Banderas, Brian O'Reilly. These are staff members. Are they going to hire any new wrestlers now that they've moved? I don't know. 3XW have risen to a national level. Huh. Taka Michinoku will work for 3XW. Nate Hatred, Shannon Rose, Jack Doan, Joe Santiago. These are staff members. FLI fell to cult level. Bill Watts quit. He has been renewed. FLI have are going to let go of people now because of whatever. It was Chris Sprules. So there you go. ECWA have signed independent worker Chris Sprules to a written contract. So I guess the fact that his new gimmick got a negative response is their problem now. It's almost not even worth looking at the rest of this now. Just sort of for funsies, you can see the comings and goings of other feds. Don Fry is taking control of FLI. Bradshaw left. Farouk left. Damn! Jerry Lynn left. The Godfather. Don Marie. They had Haku. They have a lot of old WWF guys, WWE guys. And a bunch of other people, I should say. Low Keys left. Danny Basham. Samoa Joe. Wow. There are a lot of really good wrestlers that are being left in the wake of this management team shakeup. Kid Video Fabulous, for example, and Stevie Fabulous, Cole Cabana. These people have left. Don't know if that meant they were fired or they just decided they didn't want to work. And here are a bunch of people getting hired back. Gates' Toilets have ended their sponsorship deal with FLI due to the increasingly risky material they're using. So Keebler Cookies, C-Pound Today, or C-Number Today, I don't know. They lost all their sponsors. FLI is definitely putting together a different product, with some of the same people. Not all the same people. Kenzo Suzuki. ROH have risen to a national level. Rocky Romero, Martel, Julia Bashir. Well, that certainly was a shake-up of things, wasn't it? Alright. Anyway, we're down to 15 guys, which for whatever reason does not seem to be making Sophie nervous. I would think that would make Sophie nervous. Yeah, so Valentine's Massacre is today. Let's look at the workers of the world. See if they will unite. Right, I don't have a short list going right now because I never bothered to do that. Pardon me, folks. Who wants to work for $9,000 a month and has a speed skill of at least 65? Sorry, everybody. There are a lot of guys. There's Amazing Nate. There's Catastrophe and Deranged. Well, these guys are charismatic enough to work on their own, are they? That guy's pretty good. You're pretty good. He's criticized for being lazy in the ring. Why you gotta be lazy in the ring? He wants to be an upper mid-card heel. I already have so many heels right now. Actually, I feel like maybe some of my heels are going by the wayside. Let's take a look at the quick roster here. Actually, no, I guess we still have a completely balanced roster. Um, Although I feel like we have more brawlers in our heel ranks and more high flyers in our face ranks. Let's go into... Actually, let's just chop all these down again. And yes, we're going to have a lot of people who are not particularly talented. But we're going to look at all of them. Agent Steel, for example, here. Actually, pretty good worker in terms of his brawl and technical abilities. Amaretto Mitsuko. Okay. Andy Barden, as average can be in every way. Antonio Banks is a pretty darn good brawler too. It's Athena and Big Ron Stud. Bobby Roode. Well, what do you know? Bobby Roode is a fairly big figure, or at least last I checked was a fairly big figure in TNA. He may have jumped ship to a different. I feel like Jeff Jarrett and I think Jeff Jarrett went off to start a Fed separate from TNA, which is interesting because I sort of thought that he was like part owner runner of TNA. But what are you gonna do? It's very hard to tell what goes on in these interesting machinations in the world of wrestling, yes? So it was just, yeah, Deranged is a talented guy. I will give Deranged credit. Dysfunction also a very talented man. Deranged, what do you want to be? Deranged, do you want to be that? Dysfunction, what do you want to be? You want to be an upper mid-card heel? What do you want to be? An upper mid-card heel? Not everybody gets to be an upper mid-card heel, guys. Somebody's got to be a good guy. And if you're all wondering, is this just going to be another edition of Bobo rolling his way through the ranks of cheap wrestlers and never actually picking somebody up? You're probably right. Jason Sugarman here, he's a pretty good brawler and not a bad technical wrestler. He's got a decent but not great speed skill. He's known to be easy to work with. I'm interested in this guy, although he wants to work as a heel. Come on, everybody wants to be a heel. I can sign them as faces, and, you know, maybe I will start signing some of these guys as faces, but, what about Jersey Devil here? He wants to be an upper mid-card tweener. Honestly, with a charisma score like that, I don't trust you to do your own promos. You okay, Bean? Oh, okay. Foot cramp. She's okay, folks. Foot cramp. I'll get the leg cramps. Those are not good. I'll wake up with those in the morning periodically. That is not a great deal. Okay, keep looking at guys. Lazarus. Why did I not see this guy earlier? He has the Brittany Spear as a finisher. He is considered lazy. He loves Onyx. Well, there's no reason a man can't love an Earth-type Pokemon. Maybe that's what I'll make Lazarus. Not an Earth-type Pokemon, but the gimmick of being a Pokemon trainer. I think that was in the list of gimmicks that people could have, right? Pokemon trainer? Surely. Oh, Mark Manitz is a good technical wrestler. The maximum capacity for sucking. Which is great, but then the guy underneath him, Max Justice, was also Max Loser. So, oh man. Of course, any of these people, I'm sure, could actually legitimately kick my ass. So, what am I really doing trying to talk down Phoebe Amakachi? And of course, Prince Juggalo, because why not Prince Juggalo? Wow, Robbie Rage is down here. Robbie Rage used to tag team with Kenny Chaos. I wonder if they're both in this game. Oh, dang it. Well, let's go ahead and see if Kenny Chaos is on here. Kenny Chaos is on here. Well, that's interesting. Robbie Rage and Kenny Chaos, the tag team of High Voltage, and they were like their absolute peak as professional wrestlers was in WCW, and I think they may have like had a couple of matches not as a tag team, but they were primarily just the tag team of High Voltage. Um, and I think their big claim to fame was supposed to be that they were, products of the WCW power plant. Apparently, Robbie Rage did not. Robbie Rage is only 30 over? Come on. I recognize Robbie Rage. Ronnie Prince Zuko here. He would. That's right. He would use his firebending to attempt to defeat the Avatar at every turn in order to prove his worth to his family, like Fire Lord. What's his name? Ozai. Fire Lord Ozai. I think that was Prince Zuko's dad. I don't remember. Hmm. So I know what you're all about to say, and you're all right. I should be making a short list of guys, shouldn't I? Todd Sexton's not bad. Wrathchild. And a Z-Bar. Alright. Melvin the Woodsman. And Lumberjack Bubba. Apparently there's a lot of guys here that already had, there's Marcia. You'd think everything works out great for her, but, if you looked at her stats, you might not believe it. Lazarus, what is your story? I'm going to shortlist you. And Jezebel. No, 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 no. Luc Legrand. There's no reason not to pick up these guys, is there really? He's known to be easy to work with, and he's a good brawler, and he's charismatic. Maybe I should think about having this guy on the... Actually, maybe I should think about having him as a tweener. Jason Sugarman's going to agree to that contract because it's a good contract, man. You don't want to be left out. You want to be part of the force. There's Blade. Moderately talented Blade. Catastrophe is okay, but he's nowhere near as good as Deranged and Dysfunction. Oof. Yeah, I'll make you a contract offer to be a heel too. They just don't have very facey sort of names, you know? I go back in here and raise up the speed skill. What's I supposed to do? Yeah. Multiboy Matthew, you're pretty good. You would be a face. It's good to know. Amazing Nate is also a very talented superstar. Perhaps I could just start feeding a bunch of heals to... Oh, Billy Kim, look at this guy. He's got a... Actually, Catastrophe is starting to look pretty good, isn't he? Though he's a heel. Chris Alexander. Actually, yeah, that is a talented man. Corey Castle, you want to work as a face? You're known to be easy to work with. He does high spots. He has a superstar look. Let's give Corey Castle a chance. Jason's all good, baby. Oh, look at this Lazarus man. Why you want to be a heel, Lazarus? The charisma is 63. Does he have enough to be his own... Be his own man? No. I might turn him face at some point later on down the line. Let's look at some of these superstars. Striker's pretty good here. So is Strong Shuto Shinjo. Feel like I've noticed that a couple of times. Also Todd Sexton. Todd Sexton, why do you want to be a heel? Let's make you a face. The fans will love you. Todd Sexton, your name in the lights. Striker, you want to work as a face too? Okay. Just going on a bizarre hiring spree for some reason. It's okay though. Got a lot of guys to debut soon. Let's hold a meeting. Sophie's going to be like, you have way too many people on the roster. Rawr, 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 rawr. She's going to turn into Dino. That's not really what's going to happen, folks. Don't worry. Yes, it's okay. We can go back. Darn, there is no managers thing. Let's see. Let's look at everybody's charisma score. If you have a charisma score shorter than this line, Corey Castle is a degenerate, but he's a face, so he's going to be managed. Lackey, heel Lackey, Bruce Sanchez, Dysfunction, Bruce Sanchez, Jason Sugarman. You are all right all on your own. Lazarus, Bruce Sanchez. Marcos, I'm going to offer you your release. Okay. Still not going to have you wrestle, but you're welcome to stick around, I guess. Striker, a mid-card face. He will be subject of Mr. Neals. Todd Sexton, the same thing. So there you go. We've now assigned managers to all of our guys. Let's look at the quick roster. I've balanced things out again through pure luck. Now, let's got a lot of potential debuts to have here, but we are going to be rolling these out slowly but surely. Let's go ahead and give tell you what, folks. Let's look at the feuds because I want to see how far along they are. 6 and 6. Tell you what, folks. It's going to be exciting for you, I know. But we're going to have a tag match, everybody. This is going to be Axel Law and GQ Smooth. Sorry, Axel Law and Gabriel versus GQ Smooth and Katsushi Takamura. And there is no title on the line. The winner will be Gabriel, and he is going to get that win over Takamura. Or no, over GQ Smooth. How's that? It'll be by cheating. And the aftermath will be GQ Smooth and Katsushi Takamura get beaten down. And this is to continue the various feuds involved. There you go, folks. People that were looking for tag team excitement, look no further. Katsushi Takamura, GQ Smooth, Axel Law, and Gabriel will all be in action tonight. And you know that means they're all going to be doing interviews. Sanchez for Axel Law. He's going to be talking about actually, wait a minute. Could I do this way as a tag team? The tag team of Gabriel and Axel Law targeting GQ Smooth and Katsushi Takamura to continue their feud. I could. I'm not sure how well this is going to go because Axel Law is not a very good interview. Gabriel can do just fine. So as long as Gabriel does the talking, and for the corresponding segment later that maybe I'll put here, the interview segment. Oh, wait, yeah, of course. Let's remove this booking. It's going to be an interview, tag team with manager, Bruce Sanchez for Axel Law and Gabriel. Has to manage both the workers. Alright, just the tag team then. That's a pity. Gabriel and Axel Law. They are going to be looking out for... Geez, this list is so much longer, more complicated now, isn't it? Katsushi Takamura and GQ Smooth. That is going to be all about feud progression, baby. Woo! So then here we are going to have an interview. There's going to be an interview. A tag team interview with GQ Smooth and Katsushi Takamura. See, this is how we get these things accomplished. There's Gabriel right there. Gabriel and Axel Law. That's going to be a feud. It's going to be a feud interview. I got a feud interview. Alright, so, got that done. Let's think about who else we want to have on the card tonight. I want to feed one of our new wrestlers to El Majito. 1977-64. So, who of our new superstars has an amazing, probably Deranged is maybe the best match to take on the Lazarus, also a likely contender. Yeah. So let's maybe have Robert Thompson. Actually, I don't know who's looking at here. Lazarus. Yeah, let's put Lazarus into a match with El Majito. Because it's going to be a good match. People are going to love to see El Majito out there. 1 versus 1 singles Lazarus. Where are you? There you are. Lazarus versus El Majito. None. The end result will be a win for El Majito. El Majito will win cleanly. And afterward, Lazarus will run away. And this is just going to be to put on a good match. I'd say to debut Lazarus, but really, that's not going to be what people remember about that particular matchup. Let's see here. Also have Robert Thompson. They could have a nice match with somebody. And Trent Baker could have a rumble. That'd be alright. Actually, is little Nate available tonight? Little Nate hasn't been in a match in a little while. Let's put little Nate on the show. How about... Little Nate. Who could Little Nate wrestle? Little Nate could wrestle Trent Baker. Do we have anybody that we're recommended to put in a feud with Little Nate? I find that surprising. Little Nate's a pretty talented guy. Does nobody want to fight you, Little Nate? What's that all about? Let's put Little Nate up against Trent Baker. One versus one single match. Trent Baker. Where are you, Trent? There you are. And Little Nate. There you are. There is no title on the line. Let's give this one to Little Nate. And Little Nate's going to do it clean. And the aftermath of this will be Trent Baker has a temper tantrum. Sure. We're just putting on good matches, folks. Maybe we should use Sanjay Dutt to debut one of these other heels. Ooh, like Dysfunction. Yeah, Sanjay Dutt versus Dysfunction. I like that. A 1v1. Okay. Single match. Ooh. Dysfunction versus Sanjay Dutt. There's no title on the line. This is going to be a win for Sanjay Dutt. The finish is Sanjay Dutt clean. And then the aftermath will be, I'm thinking dysfunction will cheap shot after a handshake. So that's what we're doing there. We getting up in the morning? Okay. And we'll do that to have a good match. I was just confirming that I was going to, in fact, wake up tomorrow rather than sleep the entire day and wake up the following day. There we go. Trent Baker talk on his own? Nope. Can little Nate talk on his own? Not really. El Machito could talk on his own. Let's go ahead and have let's go ahead and have let's do this as an angle. So wait a minute, let's exit out of here. How many segments do I actually need? How about an angle here? Is this a debut angle? Or is it a manager angle? Nope, not going to do those. We are going to do the manager angles. Manager introduces a new singles client. And it is Bruce Sanchez. He is going to be introducing Lazarus. There you go. And then there's going to be an interview segment here starring El Magito. Magito. And he is going to be talking about Lazarus. He is going to hype the match they're about to have. There you go. Now then, let's take a look at the lineup as we've already got it. We're going to be spending a little more money than we usually do, but we're going to be making more money this month. Although, again, we're still going to be in the hole overall from the sponsor deal that we ended up eliminating. Let's see. Sanchez. Could have Sanchez just do an interview himself, like, hey, I'm Bruce Sanchez. I'm the greatest. Actually, I tell you what. Let's have Bruce Sanchez just do an interview by himself. Talking about how great he is. Basically saying, like, we know what this means, but basically Bruce Sanchez is going to be saying, you folks be on the lookout in the coming shows. I'm going to start having some real surprises for Vulture Wrestling Federation. You better believe it. Bruce Sanchez gained overness from the segment, so that's good. Gabriel and Axel Law both gained overness from this, and they got a decent rating for it. I gotta guess Gabriel did the talking. Dysfunction versus Sanjay Dutt was a good match. Crowd didn't really care though, so it was pretty average score. Bruce Sanchez and Lazarus. Bruce Sanchez comes down to the ring and takes a microphone. He announces that he's made a big new signing, that his new client is Lazarus. Out comes Lazarus and he shakes hands with his new manager, signaling their alliance. So there you go. And that got a decent rating too. Trent Baker versus Lil Nate. It's a pretty good match. Crowd doesn't really care, but still, it's good enough. Gets a 60% rating. El Machito, huge pop for El Machito. Everybody loves El Machito. Pop, by the way, is when an audience just goes crazy, starts shouting about it, just like cheers for something big time. That's a crowd pop. It's like, for example, they often refer to cheap pops. Especially that was a thing that Mick Foley sort of made, part of his thing. Like he would specifically point out that he did it, and then he would say like, "I'm so glad to be right here in Washington D.C." To get the fans in Washington D.C. to cheer because of the name of their hometown was brought up by this guy they like. Good match between Lazarus and El Bajito. See, look at that. Look at that mess. Everybody likes that. Lazarus, I can't believe Lazarus didn't get a bigger thing out of that. Smooth and Katsushi are backstage. They did not get as good of a rating out of that interview segment. Well, not a great match. Pretty good crowd response, though. The crowd was into it because it's two guys and two feuds. The overall crowd rating, okay. Ring bell clobbering. 60%, so it's better than our show last month. So it's got that going for it. Takamura wants to be our up the card. Excuse me. Phil Stamper, whoever that is, has agreed to a contract with FLI. So here we go. Let's take a look at a little bit more that's happening here. Adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush. ROH have fallen to cult levels. They were global for a while. They've fallen all the way past national, all the way down to cult. MLW Underground has not been renewed by Regional Network. Jerry Lynn. Alright, so here's some open contracts. El Majito has agreed to an open contract with ROH. Okay, as long as you don't sign him up to a written contract, we'll be okay. 66. Alright, so I guess we did gain 3% again, so that's good. Excuse me. And the 1st of March, World Extreme Wrestling have issued a bankruptcy warning. You gotta be careful. New Japan have announced this year's roster of touring workers. Dunn has returned from injury. That's good. Jackie is retired, y'all. Bret Hart left TNA. Sanjay Dutt wants more money, so does Lazarus, so does Mr. Neal, so does... Well, no, nobody else. Alright. 401 have ended their sponsorship deal with WWE. Death and War ended their sponsorship with ROH. Gin Blossoms. Canadian Gold. The Number Shooter, or Pound Shooter, however you want to say that. We made money, superb work. We are losing money. World Extreme has a bankruptcy warning going on. So we are down beneath half a million right now. See how much money we turned a profit last month. 25 grand. So good. Let's look at the world of sponsors, see if any new and interesting sponsors have shown up. Doesn't really look like it. Yep. So basically we can continue to hold off maybe for the next 5 months until we can get a new sponsorship. Mick Mars bars. McMars? I don't know. So we're up to 66% public image for Vulture Championship Wrestling. So that's positive steps. Giant steps. So yeah, no, that's very good. And let's go into the meeting here. Let's talk to Sophie. 45%, so the industry is still getting worse. Running staff. Marcos could use a change of gimmick, but he's not really ever going to get one because he's probably not going to be used ever again. He's getting staff. Look at all these people who might be ending their contracts. All right, there you go, folks. So I went on a hiring spree, and I think I can introduce these. I can introduce these guys, and just for right now, just start using them as guys, using them as jobbers. We have like low-level guys. Um, So I think that will be a use of their talents for right now until the people I currently have, as they get hired, some of these guys will start to step up. I might actually start having a hierarchy of, you know, guys and their broad overness rather than just sort of having everybody sort of in a muddling middle, which I don't mind. It means that everybody can sort of wrestle each other until you get a guy like El Machito, who all of a sudden is too big for the britches of wrestling all of the other guys in the league and losing. So, whoopsie doodle on that. Anyhow, folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This has been Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.